Hola, clase. ¿Cómo están? Excelente. And welcome back to Learning with Senor Cow Cow. Now, today I'm going to be combining Spanish 2 and Spanish 3 in one video. So it's going to jump around just a little bit, but I'll include some timestamps in the description. Okay? All right. So, first, if you. I got to get my hair perfect. Hold on. It's got to be just right. There we go. Okay. If you're in Spanish 2, go ahead and do the first warm up. If you're in Spanish 3, kind of skip through or click on the little timestamp in the description for your warm up. Okay. I'm combining them because y'all are covering a lot of the same material as far as the practicing our new verbs. Okay. So, Spanish 2, here you go. Spanish 3, find your spot. Okay. Spanish 2 warm up is here. Okay. So, well, let me make sure we're recording. This is an important one. Okay, good. Okay, all right, so Spanish 2, go ahead, saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. All right, we cook fish in the kitchen. Cocinamos pescado en la cocina. Okay, I don't know Chicago. This one is referring to being familiar with Chicago. So the answer is no conozco Chicago. If this were a person, you would say something like no conozco a Pedro. Okay, all right, they answer the questions. Ellos, if you want to write it, contestan las preguntas. You should study. Tú debes estudiar. The show begins at 2 o'clock. All right, here we go. El programa empieza a las 2. The show begins at 2. All right. Whenever you have an it, like show or house or whatever as a subject, the house is big, the show begins, you always conjugate for he, she. Okay. All right. And the last one, I can cut the cloth. Puedo cortar la tela. All right. So now I'm going to do the Spanish 3 warm up. So Spanish 2, just kind of scroll past in the video and I'll see you in the next part. Okay. Español 3. Saquen papel y practiquen. Pause the video now. All right. We like to cook fish in the kitchen. This would be nos gusta cocinar pescado en la cocina. I don't know Chicago. No conozco. Oops. Chicago. I don't know my way around Chicago. I've never been there. I saw a show on it. All right. If this were a person, no conozco a Teresa. All right. They plan to answer the questions. Ellos, if you want to say it. Piensan contestar las preguntas. You should study. Debes estudiar. The show begins at 2 o'clock. El programa empieza a las 2. So whenever your subject is an it, like for example, the house is red, the show begins, and you have to conjugate a verb, you conjugate it for he, she. Okay? He, she, it is where that falls. And I can cut the cloth. Puedo cortar la tela. I'm able to cut the cloth. Okay. So, this is for everybody, Spanish 2 and 3. Let's go ahead and go back over our verbs. Okay? All right. To cook, cocinar. To eat, comer. To buy, comprar. to know in the sense of being familiar with people or places primarily. Conocer, to answer. Contestar, to run. Correr, to cut. Cortar, to cost. Costar, to give. Dar, to feed. Dar de comer. Should also means to owe. Deber. Should again is deber and then a verb. Okay, debes estudiar, debemos correr. To decorate. Decorar. To stop doing something. Dejar de, and then the infinitive. Deja de comer. Deja de hablar. Dejamos de salir. To have breakfast. Oops. Desayunar. To rest or relax. Descansar. Almost done. To draw. Dibujar. To sleep. Dormir. To begin or start. Empezar. And to begin to do something. Empezar a. And then the infinitive. Okay. Now, as far as tests go, I'll go ahead and announce both of these. All right. You all have a test on Thursday. Spanish 2 is going to cover verbs 1 through 40 and the present progressive tense. I haven't decided on the test format yet, but I will tell you very soon. Spanish 3, you have a test Thursday over infinitive phrases and verbs 1 through 40. Okay? So all of you have 1 through 40. Spanish 2, present progressive with that, and Spanish 3, your infinitive phrases. Okay. Now I got a little blank Word document here because I want to go over just kind of how some of these things work. So first of all, deber. When you say that you should do something, the way this one works is just very simple. Debo estudiar. I should study. All right, so I'll let you do one. We should eat. Okay, just think about it for a minute. Debemos comer. If you want to tell your friend, let's say they're about to pass out, you want to say, you should drink water. Debes beber agua. Debes de beber agua. Okay? Now, another one is dejar is to stop doing something. Okay, so and again, these are with infinitive. Dejar plus infinitive is to stop doing something. For example, cuando ella tiene hambre, deja de trabajar. So if cuando means when, see if we can figure out what that says. When she is hungry, she stops working. Okay, at 3 o'clock, we stop studying. See if you can figure out how to tell me that one. So if you don't know, it's a las tres. Okay, use your formula here. It's actually got a day in here, sorry. At 3 o'clock, we stop studying. A las tres. Dejamos de estudiar. Okay, and you can put the a las tres at the end. Dejamos de estudiar a las tres. Now, if you want to tell someone to stop doing something, it's very simple. Deja de. Stop talking. Deja de hablar. Okay, so how would you tell somebody? Stop running. Deja de correr. All right, fairly simple. Remember the word costar is to cost, and that is O to UE, stem changer. So, for example, the jacket costs $20. Excuse me. La chaqueta cuesta $20. The jacket costs $20. If it's two things, you simply just say cuestan, like the shoes. Los zapatos cuestan $20. Okay, and again, the question that you should be able to spit out real quick. ¿Cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuánto cuesta la chaqueta? ¿Cuánto cuestan los zapatos? How much do they cost? Okay. Now, dar, just remember the yo form of that is doy. Because after that, it's just das, da, damos, dais, dan. Okay, nothing weird about that. Just yo doy dinero, doy comida. And the last thing I wanted to be specific about here is conocer. Okay, remember that one is yo conozco. And a lot of y'all knew that yesterday, which was great. Yo conozco. I'm still very impressed with you guys. I'm very thankful that I have you. And another thing, this is many times is for people or places. Okay, being personally familiar with. Yo conozco a Juan. Yo conozco Atlanta. And again, we covered that yesterday. Okay, now this should be kind of different. Okay, this one says, give the following people advice using the verb deber. Okay, it's telling people what they should do. All right, so what would you say to your friend here? What we're going to say is, you should eat. Debes comer. Okay, think about this one. Debes correr. Debes beber agua. Debes dormir. Or maybe even debes descansar. Tell them to rest. All right, what do you tell your friend in this situation for next time? Debes estudiar. Okay, here's one of our newer verbs. Sweep. Debes barrer. Someone with very red hair got their hair cut. All right, you're going out to the karaoke place and you tell your friend, ooh, tú debes cantar. You should sing. And then they get up there and make a total fool of themselves. Okay, tell the following people to stop what they're doing using the expression dejar de. Okay, so we're going to give people a little command here. All right, how would these people tell her, stop singing? Deja de cantar. This is dancing. I know it's hard to recognize. How would you tell your weird uncle here to stop dancing? Deja de bailar. All right, how would she tell her son, stop running? Deja de correr. Deja de hablar. Deja de dormir. Deja de dibujar. Oh, can you imagine? And this one, how would you tell him to stop walking? It's like a trust exercise that you've clearly failed, but how would you tell him stop walking? Deja de andar, deja de caminar. Okay, good. So I think we did pretty well on that. Okay, now Spanish 2, what I want you to do is write 3 questions to ask using these verbs. Okay, it could be things like what do you cook in your house, or who buys food in your family? Um, where do you run? How much does your shirt cost? Okay, write 3 questions. That's Spanish 2. Spanish 3, what I want you to do is the same thing. Same thing for that. In class, we're going to do a couple extra things with it, but the same thing. So write 3 questions with these verbs. Okay? All right, now, at this point, I'm going to continue with Spanish 2. So if you're Spanish 3 right now, look in the description and click the Spanish 3 section. Okay? All right, so Spanish 2, I'm going to go back over your notes. We went over this briefly yesterday, the present progressive tense. So before, what we learned originally was the present tense. Practico, I practice, corro, I run. The present progressive is the ing of Spanish. There's no question it's happening right now as we speak. So we have estar is part A, and then for part B you have ando for AR verbs or yendo for ER and IR. You have to have A and B every time. A and B every time. Okay, so examples. I'm talking, estoy hablando. Remember that every word you say has a meaning. Estoy means I am. Hablando means talking. Estoy hablando, I am talking. We are running. Estamos corriendo. We are running. Okay, and we did these 2 examples. He is eating. Él está comiendo. They are listening. Ellos están escuchando. Okay, if there are 2 vowels in a row in the original verb, like here with leer and traer, you may have to change the spelling to maintain the integrity of the word. So, again, just know this is what it becomes. Leer, leyendo. Traer, trayendo. Ir, yendo. It's mostly a note about spelling. And finally, some verbs do have a stem change in this tense. Not all verbs, but some of them, such as dormir becomes durmiendo, morir becomes muriendo, servir becomes sirviendo, and decir becomes diciendo. Like if you want to say, oh man, tonight they're serving fish. Esta noche están sirviendo pollo. Or you can say, the bug is dying. El insecto está muriendo. We did it. Okay, and then we had these 2 examples. I am sleeping. Estoy durmiendo. We are reading. Estamos leyendo. And that is that. Now, you do have a practice sheet. And wait, before we get to that, I want to do some practice just a little bit. We don't have to do the whole thing. Okay. All right, here we go. He is listening to music. Él está escuchando. Okay, I'm going to give you a little more time on the next one, but there's the format. Ella está hablando por teléfono. Nosotros estamos leyendo el libro. System changer. Dormir. Ustedes están durmiendo or están descansando, just whether you want to say you all are sleeping or resting. All right, here's a new verb for you. Llorar. Yo estoy llorando mucho. I'm crying a lot. Let's just do one more. The woman is selling bread. La mujer está vendiendo el pan. Okay, now the last thing to show you is going to be your assignment. Okay, so I'm going to put it up on Google Classroom here. Classwork for tomorrow, practice sheet, turn this in, and here we go. You have some things to translate. We are running in the gym. They're sleeping at my house. She's drawing a house. I'm cooking soup. Are you buying the dog? And so on. And I've actually updated this worksheet for this year to include the verbs. These are the verbs that we're currently looking at, okay, at least most of them. Write 4 things that are actually happening right now. It could be in the room, across the world. In China, people are riding bikes. In Georgia, I am working. Here, write sentences to describe what's happening in each picture. Juan is camping, Susana is dancing, and finally draw and write your own. Okay? All right, so that takes care of Spanish 2 for today. So go ahead and get that done, and you may stop watching the video now. Okay, so Spanish 3. Okay, so Spanish 3, I want to go back over your infinitive phrases, okay? So first of all, let's zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so to prefer, preferir, prefiero dormir. I prefer to sleep. And again, the whole key here is infinitive. All of these things, let me make sure I'm still recording. Okay, good. All of these things, the second verb you leave alone. Second verb, leave alone. Don't touch it. Okay, just like we did here. Comer. They want to eat. Quieren comer. Okay, so to want is querer. Quieren comer. They want to eat. To be able, poder. Juan puede nadar. Juan can swim. Literally, Juan is able to swim. To desire or want is desear. Deseo estudiar. I want to study. I desire it. To need, necesitar. Ellos necesitan descansar. They need to rest. To plan, pensar. Carla piensa pescar. Carla plans to fish. To hope, esperar. Esperamos llegar mañana. We hope to arrive tomorrow. Going to, ir plus a plus infinitive. Voy a correr. I'm going to run. Vamos a hablar. We're going to talk. Have to, tener plus que plus infinitive. Tengo que correr. I have to run. Tenemos que beber. We have to drink. To feel like is tener ganas de. So, Carlos tiene ganas de mirar televisión. Carlos feels like watching TV. That's what he's in the mood to do. To have just done something. Acabar de. Acabo de comer. I just ate. It's necessary to. This is your general no person in the sentence advice. Hay que tener cuidado en Nueva York. one has to be careful in New York. Okay? Now, these bottom two are actually prepositional phrases, but they will be included in the lesson. Okay? Now, I've posted on Google Classroom some additional notes. Now, it may look like a lot, and it does, but it's not. A lot of this stuff, these are verbs that are already in your list. They're verbs that you've already seen before. So a lot of this is going to be repeated. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, so deber is should. Debemos comer. We should eat. Empezar, comenzar, to begin. Salimos cuando empezó a llover. We left when it started to rain. Aprender a is to learn how to do something. En la clase de español, aprendemos a hablar. In Spanish class, we learn to talk. Gustar, this goes back to Spanish 1. Me gusta dormir. I like to sleep. Nos gusta correr. We like to run. Saber is to know how to. Yo sé tocar la guitarra. I know how to play the guitar. And again, it's got this yo sé is kind of like it's an irregular yo. If you want to, you can say yo sé cómo tocar la guitarra. It's the same thing. Tratar de is to try to. Tratamos de ganar el campeonato. We try to win the championship. Every year. Todos los años tratamos de ganar el campeonato. We try to win. Dejar de is to stop doing something. Si tiene hambre, Carla deja de trabajar. If she's hungry, Carla stops working. Gozar de is to enjoy. Gozamos de jugar en putt-putt. We like playing at putt-putt. It's like saying we take advantage of it, we enjoy it, we like it. Okay. Now, prepositional phrases, two of these are from your other sheet anyway. Antes de, después de. And then we have para, in order to. Para tener energía, hay que dormir. In order to have energy, one has to sleep. It's like you got to sleep to have energy, man. And the last one is al, which is upon. Al entrar en la casa, Juan vio la araña. Upon entering the house, Juan saw the spider. And I can only imagine it's a big one. All right. Now, again, so all of this is going to be covered on the test. You're watching this on Tuesday. I want to push you guys, okay? If I thought this was too much, I wouldn't do it. Now, granted, we're not in the ideal situation. We are in a situation where we're doing learn from home and AB and all of that stuff that we have to do. But I know you could do it because I know how smart y'all are. So this is my challenge to you. Study your expressions, the ones on this sheet, the ones on the other one, because I know you can do it. It's been a long time since I was in this position where I have such high level and smart and talented students. So I want you to rise to the occasion and prove to me that I'm right, that you can do this, okay? Again, some of these things are repeated. These two are from the other sheet. A lot of these are from the words we were already doing. Deber, empezar, comenzar, aprender, gustar is Spanish 1, okay? I know you can do it. It's not as much as it looks like. So keep that in mind. Now, in class, we are going to spend some time basically telling me all about yourself. So, for example, if you were telling me about yourself, so you can just take a moment to practice on your own. If I said, ¿Qué prefieres? ¿Qué prefieres hacer? You could say, prefiero correr. ¿Qué quieres hacer? Quiero jugar videojuegos. ¿Qué puedes hacer? Puedo nadar. Okay, so in class we're going to take some time to do that. And then the last thing for today is I'm going to assign this worksheet. So the notes you already have on infinitive phrases, the second page is the practice for today. Okay, so it says, using the infinitive phrases, write the following en español, in full sentences. This you don't have to turn in because we'll go over this together. Okay, so we'll do this actually in person. And if you're in my virtual class, we'll do it live. Okay, so either way. Okay, so say three things that you would rather be doing right now using three different expressions. You could say something like, I want to run. I prefer to play video games. Anything else besides doing class right now? What are three things you would like to do? Two things you anticipate doing in the future. You can tell me, I plan to travel. I'm going to study in California. Okay, etc., etc., etc. You can do it. Use your notes. Use what you have. Okay, let's go back to me. All right, back in the field. All right, guys, so that's it. I will see you tomorrow, and let me know if you have any questions. Adios.